18 years ago, my husband and his mistress died in a car crash, leaving me to raise their twin sons alone. But on the day the boys were accepted into the country's top university, the dead couple walked through my front door, very much alive and ready to reclaim their perfect family. To understand why I didn't scream when I saw the ghosts of my past, you have to know the history of my sacrifice after the accident. I ignored the scorn of my family and society to raise the illegitimate children of the man who betrayed me. I poured my soul into Sammy and Scott, transforming them from the wreckage of a scandal into brilliant young men who just secured spots at Cornell University. They were my pride, my joy, and my vindication. They hugged me, thanking me for my tireless devotion, promising to care for me in my old age, unaware that their biological parents were about to turn our lives into a horror show. I had planned a lavish dual celebration for their birthday and their university acceptance, booking the finest restaurant in the city and inviting the entire extended family. I wanted the world to see what I had achieved. The family group chat exploded with praise, with relatives lamenting that my late husband, Jeremy, wasn't there to see his son's success. I silenced my phone, savoring the victory, completely oblivious to the fact that Jeremy was not resting in peace, but waiting in the wings to steal everything I had built. My in-laws sat at the main table, crowding around my sons while treating me like a servant, demanding I pour them tea and hand over the keys to my apartment because they believed my role as a mother was finally over. To understand why they thought they could steal my home, you have to look at the history of my thankless sacrifice. I had defied my own family to raise my late husband's illegitimate twins, and for 18 years his relatives treated me with scorn. Now, at their birthday banquet, they packed the main table, leaving no seat for me until my sons dragged a chair over. My sister-in-law, Lillian, smirked and made snide comments about the boys taking after their biological mother, Janie, while my mother-in-law dropped her mask and revealed her true intention. She sweetly suggested that since the boys were leaving for university, she and my father-in-law should move into my 3-bedroom apartment, a home my parents paid for. I shut her down instantly, lying that I had already sold the apartment to fund the boys' education abroad. My father-in-law exploded, slamming the table and demanding I hand over the proceeds because he didn't trust me with money. They demanded I rent a shoebox and give them everything. I calmly countered that the money was locked in a trust fund, inaccessible until the boys turned 40. Their greed momentarily satisfied, they relaxed, completely unaware that I was about to drop a bomb that would silence their chatter forever. As the restaurant manager handed me a microphone, I prepared to reveal the truth that would destroy their entitlement once and for all. My dead husband walked into the banquet hall, hand in hand with his mistress, demanding a divorce so they could reclaim the children I had spent 18 years raising as my own. To understand why I smiled instead of screamed, you have to witness the sheer audacity of this moment. I was on stage, celebrating my son's acceptance into a top university, when Jeremy and Janie, the couple who supposedly died nearly 2 decades ago, interrupted my speech. My in-laws didn't flinch. They welcomed the resurrected couple with open arms, revealing they had been in on the deception all along. Jeremy strode up to me, thanking me for being a good babysitter, but calling me a barren hen, who had forced him to fake his death to escape my twisted control. They spun a web of lies to my confused sons, claiming I was the villain who had kept them apart from their real parents. Everyone expected me to break down, to fight for the boys I had sacrificed everything for. Instead, I calmly agreed to the divorce. Jeremy, stunned by my lack of resistance, shoved a contract in my face, demanding I sign away all rights to the children forever. I signed without hesitation. My sons looked at me with betrayal, thinking I was abandoning them, while Janie gloated that my job was finally done, but they celebrated too early. As my father-in-law tried to dismiss me like a servant, I stood my ground. I announced that since the agreement was signed, it was time for the truth. I clapped my hands, signaling the entrance, and 2 figures walked through the door, figures that would reveal the devastating secret I had been protecting them from for 18 years, proving that while they thought they had won, they had actually just walked into my trap. Welcome to share your feelings in the comments section. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you want to see more story content, please check out the other videos on my channel. Rana.